Because the thing is, we are supposed to hold our officials, public entities to account. We have to hold them to whatever they say, their promises, their pronouncements. So if somebody is in opposition, anybody at all, either the main opposition leader or the rest of them, anyone comes out to say, look, this is what is happening. When I come to power, this is what I'm going to do. You have to analyze the statement. Is it doable? And I think to cancel ex gratia, I think it will be the easiest policy commitment. I mean, the easiest policy commitment one can have. The easiest. So why are people, or is it because it is the easiest? People are angry, annoyed that it is rather Mahama and not maybe Bawumia or Alan Tremantin saying this. You see? If Alan Tremantin or Bawumia have said this, Japan, people will be jumping up and down. But Mahama says that and he's being attacked by the same group of people who now feel very much disgraced. The frustrated bunch of a group of people in Ghana 2013, 14, 15, they sang on from the hilltops. If we don't get Nanado, then we are all dead. They cooked and portrayed Nana Akufo-Addo as the best thing that Ghana should have. Meanwhile, Nanado himself was going about seriously avoiding a face-to-face meeting with Mahama. He was going around trying all his best to avoid a proper debate face-to-face with Mahama. But this group of people, you know them, they went about selling Akufo-Addo to Ghanaians as though if Ghanaians made the mistake of not bringing him to power, then Ghanaians will suffer. Today we brought him to power. Okay, thank you. Today we've brought him to power, and as we say in local military parlance, nothing can do. Nothing is doing. In a country where monies get missing or Auditor General brings out, serious, rather very serious, what do we call it, accounting results, yearly accounting results, accounting statement or account statement for the country, spreadsheet. And in Penifua Gugana Hono, nobody discusses it. Obviously not K.T. Hammond. Yet was a K.T. Hammond, the boy who said, his preoccupation is that he has been nominated, but the parliament hasn't granted him that right to be a minister. And that is his worry. As for the monies that are missing left, right, and center, nobody in government cares. The opposition will talk and talk and talk, but nothing happens. For the past week or so, we said there are so many monies that cannot be paid. So the accounts, financial statements is so serious, precarious, that pensioners and people who have saved their own money should forfeit their money for some time in order to help the whole country. Meanwhile, just a week ago, Foriata sat in the parliament almost the whole day so that he will get his time to explain to Ghanaians where he's going to get money to be given to NIA to do the Ghana card. because as what do we call it? What is his name? Sami Jenfi said they have their rigging plan. That, they want to use that plan to rig the election 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this again. I'm asking the question, dear Pana, Ekosu Ewo Yebibi Mahemu. So when we attained the independence and the rest, left, right, and center, it was true that we had very few educated people. So over 50 years now in Black Africa that we've attained independence, is it that people are becoming wiser or we are becoming more foolish? Mintiasio, are we becoming wiser in Black Africa or we are becoming foolish? My question, this question, relates to what is happening in Nigeria. You spend almost $300 million for election, and this is the result. I'm not talking about the literal result of that old, very old, wrinkled man who has won election with 8 million votes, now going to run a country of over 200 million people. And even if that 8 million votes was actually won, legitimately, very, very, very open for, it is open for debate. It is very arguable. I mean, how? What on earth is happening in Black Africa? So here comes another time. Very soon there will be election 2024 in a year's time or so. So let's say, in 24 months or 20, 20 months or whatever it is. 21 months. Time. In these few years, months to come, there will be elections. So the cycle, the vicious money wasting, money grabbing cycle starts all over again. The NIA has started this identity card program, printing of cards and everything, a long time ago. The monies they had previously, they should have been able to provide or produce the cards for a certain group of people. But the whole thing is being done haphazardly. The whole thing is being done in such a way that people struggle, Ghanaians, ordinary Ghanaians. Look, forget about the opposition say, don't go and register or don't go and do this. Ghanaians know that in the end, they will need those cards and everything. So they go and register anyway. They spend time, even some spend money, and still they are not giving, the correct results. Some end up with wrong names, wrong surnames, wrong Christian or first names. Some will have their names correctly spelled with a picture of a woman for a man, and vice versa. Somebody date of birth calculated now should be about 600 years old. Basa. And all this has to go through changes. Ghanaians are being pushed from pillar to post. So others are saying, look, okay, if you intend to use the card, this card is the main criteria, what you need for you to be able to register to become a voter, fine. But don't discard other legitimate criteria as well, or other legitimate documents which can be used so that people will not be disenfranchised. Maybe not, how do we call it, on purpose. Maybe not planned. Maybe it is that opposition will say, oh, the government and their people want to disenfranchise deliberately. Maybe not deliberately. But all the same, people who will fall into that category, which will be seen as what do you call it? People who have not been able to receive or obtain the NI card, or they have not been able to be registered onto the voters register. Those people shouldn't be disenfranchised. So people are saying other legitimate, documents like the passport and the what do you call it? What is the name of the vouching for? What is it? Oh, I've forgotten the word. But somebody should come and, the method that somebody can say, look, yeah, he's my son or he's my daughter. Guarantor. The guarantor system should not be discarded, should also be used. Easy for see Debbie, meanwhile, you cannot promise Ghanaians that, look, people who are supposed to get this and they are going to get it. There are some people, whatever you do for them, they won't even bother. But those are in the very minute minority. Those people are very few. There will be a massive number of people who want the cars but won't get it. And those people will become, what do we call it, necessary convenience for whoever wants those people not to have the chance to vote. It will be only after voting election, then arrangement will be made for those people to get it. You see, but if it was any proper country, the East genuinely neutral, you won't fight with, you don't have to fight with another political party. After all, you, the EC, the executive, the top people, if you are really neutral, you don't have anything to lose by making sure that you speak politely, you speak friendly, you speak, firmly and equally to every party. You don't say, if you don't want to go away. Then they call something IPAC. They will gather a group of other political parties. People have formed parties, political parties, to make business. Because if you talk rubbish in support of a Akufo-Addo, fine. When you crowd, when you car. Nancy, me say, me ye, papa be a friend, Kwame Jantua, onu CPP ni. Ono ababe can say, CPP chairman no, akwaji cast ni scouts then ewe Akufo-Addo ho. That woman. Nana bibi your friend say, ono cry friend say, kuma se bibisa. It's going to collect cash. Because since then this man said that I'm trying very hard to get hold of that woman to speak to me, friend Crown. So this is what is happening. Near London Forest Gate, or see Mansa Musa, the pronouncement of ex-gratia cancellation by JDM has exposed the hypocrisy of some disappointed NPP members. JDM said that the executives have to set a good example because the economy is shrinking and they cannot continue enjoying it whilst the majority of workers below Article 71 are suffering. In my opinion, it should be commended. Ayo, in your opinion, JDM should be commended. But in the opinion of others, he's become a taboo. The moment he speaks, people, so, see, for me, those who have come out boldly to show that they are in favor of Akufo-Addo or their MPP, for them, I don't have any problem with them. That's what they will be paid to do. But what annoys me, the people who really gets on my goat, is those people who claim to be neutral. Because when you dig deep, you see that they are not neutral. They are all MPP Akufo-Addo supporters disgruntled. Now they don't find Akufo-Addo home very comfortable. It's not a comfortable home at all to belong. So they'll come, and every issue they have to divide it into two and equalize it. Every issue. Now imagine say I'm out for say a guinea fowl and confirm with two. No, ye the body de be 2 years neka. Na excavators pa yira excavator ni body di bebre ahira ye hu bebie wo. Everybody knows that people almost say tonwedi ebi yes the same galamsey. And so no, this same group of people who are disgruntled, like Neil will say, these hypocrites will come and try to deceive. Try to deceive. Okay. Try to deceive those people who are not very clever. I wouldn't say clever in that sense, but every time they get the chance, they have to equalize something. For me, I will say it that the way Akufo-Addo is running this country, in any proper country, whether in South America or especially Southeast Asia, you see, people in those places, they also love their parties. Richie? Yeah. Now, you see, Mahama, I can't say me my MPP for Munyina Mohopopo. Richie? Okay, mami be your microphone on a cabbage train. Nanado ni Juma Pano. Richie, welcome to NFM Radio.
Thank you.
Nanado ni Juma Pano ye ne bi ni we.
Nada we ho from han.
Me ye ho cabbage me.
Nurses training allowance.
Jesus Christ.
Mahama ya wo se wo kwa kofa na bay. Ono an otwam.
Yes.
Teacher training allowance.
Yes.
Mahama any.
Yes.
S Gracia.
Yes.
Mahama na no din eka about S Gracia. Ono waje more S Gracia than anybody.
Enya no kure what do you mean kase ho. Enya no kure. Documents be Mahama see you ntua na ex. Listen to me. Nanado
you listen to me.
No, you listen to me. Dia wo kan nya no kure. Me see dia wo kan nya no kure. Hwe wa betra. Listen, what's your MP ti o? We free MP di mu da ye president. Me ba o. We free. Oh, okay. Into Oji, me ba. Into Oji MP S Gracia. It is a Ghana for nyina su brew economy di ninia. Ghana for lusu musika. Into obi abu ofu sa S Gracia. Say no, it's okay. So if I say for argument's sake, so Oji kwa no say me ba me twemu a. Eno no ni boni ni de way.
As I'm making, once you jump into conclusion. One mama land.
The beer, Missy Mahama, or free president Timui, or see Yentia S. Gracia man, or free as a president. And the document be interested about GS Gracia. So won't come MP time, fine. But document ben what the ben out is inland revenue Auditor General ne revenue department where from saying omo documents ben na chese ye tua S Gracia Mahama as ex-president. Last one better also onu na tua ne staff, o tua ne danka, o tua ne flight, o tua enti no ade na monfa document ne mekire.
Yo, mate.
Enye se what yenka no kure kakrati o. Hwe dia wo kase na na do ye adwuma papa o ye. Se wo di sika bebre ba o man mu. Na se sika no wo di tuatua kasa no a. Amanfo ye kan ye say it is not the right policy. It will tuatua na nurses for na die wie no. Ene ye ne. Enti adwuma papa o ye ne de wen.
Okay. What after meeting?
What in America na say?
No, me say after the meeting make kasa.
Kasa.
Look, the man your friend is saying Mahama. Oh friend, no say Mahama.
May introduction here because we friend one na me dey assembly boom to Richmond Japan me wa.
Me ba cho ye friend me Richmond Japan.
Richmond.
That's a friend.
The bia me mistake. I den kurenia.
No,
Now what do you say? Me try say message Saudino. Me try say message Saudino. And I mean will kasa ya what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that changes because this is not no. You far grown to I don't like and say I don't have to do.
Almost every
when I catch also me the diagro and come no and can say come in to family ho. Enti me will kasa ya me ye change no edit no. Enti edino who say rich no what the mommy that over 3-4 years ago so 5 years ago enti be rich na matro de BMC rich and I'm rich enti edino Richmond o kan nyina me tapo ye ka say Richmond there
Kwame Boateng.
Richmond Kwame Boateng that is Kwame Boateng oh Mami nkoye no su kwaku. Okay. Richmond Kwame Boateng Mr. or Esquire. Sorry about that. After them save enti se me hwe odi na wo kasa I cannot make those mistakes anymore, which is really great. Listen. Now let Mr. Richmond Kwame Boateng, one of the spokespersons for the MPP UK.
I'm not spokesperson for MPP. I am the branch organizer of MPP. Spokesperson.
Branch organizer, a big deal, a big post. Sorry, so the branch.
Is a big when you are getting these information, get it right.
The branch organizer for MPP UK branch, Mr. Richmond Kwame Boateng. Olena mote ninka me friend no impromptu, but he's brave enough, intelligent enough. He feels very accurate enough to come and talk to Mansa Musa, even at a notice call. So we appreciate that. Okay, after the Yanko.
Right. So what did you say Mahama? I mean, let the listeners know.
Mahama say, sir, your friend is saying, oh no, as Gracia Samayakan, or see your bar. First and foremost, no, the executives, archers, or no, the ruling people, more or mubu or minor executives, no, he will make sure that they will forfeit. They will forfeit or they will forgo their ex gratia. Then he will try and convince the judicial and the legislature to also, cancel or accept the cancellation of ex gratia. I think this is a good thing, isn't it?
So, the cancellation of ex gratia is a good thing, or try saying that he will.
Mr. Boateng, baby, I would know. Baby, I would know. Wouldn't the but me fraud direct mom. I will say a year what's happened. Just a delay one, and I open this. Me fraud direct.
I mean, I think that's direct.
Me fraud direct because we know as an delay woman and common and yet day. So I'm ringing Mr. Richmond Kwame Boateng once more. Then we'll have a proper discussion. Yeah, I think this should be much better. Right. Welcome back, Mr. Richmond Kwame Boateng again. He is the organizer for MPP UK branch. Right. So, also a big chat as Gracia, on no best start if you know. My question is, this is a good thing, right?
Well, I mean, depends. I mean, if Mahama is coming around to tell you that this is a good you have to believe it? I mean, the man that tells you the elections we do and Trobia, it can throw the film in no, a banner of the catcher say, you better about, this is a good thing. You have to believe it. Let's be serious here.
Until you don't believe it, you don't believe, you don't trust you can do it.
It's not a case say you can do it. I mean, there's more that goes to it. This is Article 71. It's not something that, sorry, I know. Yes, it's a good thing that he's even suggesting it. And it's not something that is a Mahama thing to do. It's something that the whole country will have to come together to do.
Yes.
If Mahama is telling you, say, I will do this, it's not something that anybody should feel encouraged. Or not to as Grasha Bank and the Uvias in on day. Why did Grasha be a Ghana? He's got more as Grasha than anybody in the history of Ghana. So why are we going to stay here and think, say, well, can't say Pepper be and also the Papa? He's not doing anything good. It's just a popular statement. I'm all
one thing about politics and what Ghana is saying. Young fans say, Kufuado, Obaya Obeki can say, oh, I will build 318 school blocks. I'm going to do one district, one. The policies near the no cano. 2016, there was never Americans. The papa. As to if he can do it is a different thing. But this is the case. Almost our topic about S. Gracia. Obiti say Muamuni party say your friend is saying, Moni Paya me interview near on super president AD. He came to London recently. Apart from Baumia, any Alanchremantin, any Canadian Japan, there is another guy, a younger fella. Those person the president. Mekai say Onokrosa can be say, S. Gracia should be abolished immediately. Or can a long time ago. Meanwhile, also now Article 71 for no also GB. But this particular, Oka say Mahama no Kentime and Jindia. Senator say, I said, yeah, on no Mahama kind in the we are. Dina me penny a Kwabre Japan.
Oh, okay.
Kwabre Japan said the same thing, that S. Gracia should be removed. Also, Ajibida. Inti so Kwabre Japan the Okan, okay, but Mahama the Okan, and yet.
No, I'm not saying say Obi Eka because the thing is, it's a quarter. I can't just have amount to my say from. It's just the Muhammad that is saying this. What has he actually got to show for? What can he do to help the good people of Ghana in terms of the things that he's talking about?
Nasa Mahama will projects bebre wo ade bia NDC for friend of Green Book. And then I fans after 6 and something years MPP for printing say Blue Book. Nanka yen fan compare.
But I mean, we are doing bigger and better things. Why do we need to print a blue book? I mean, do we have to base our policies on what Mahama and NDC have to do?
No, we are only talking about being able to verify. Also, okay, say more communication director, current one, and he about sometime just before the election 2020. Yebusa and say on one district, Denu area a project I wo or see you should go online. It should go online. This is like a book more. Usha no afro beside the way or ha. Now could be a correct. Make us say I didn't know someone printed be say blue book. Said they are NDC for green book. No, now more projects are most of the better and powerful. No, then we compare. Ghanaians will need that to compare and contrast. Anna.
Well, look, if you want to know the project that NPP have done, I think that we have enough publication, enough information about it, and I'll be more than happy to share some of it with you.
one a year, your friend is saying.
And then you can name a black book or red book or red.
No. More and this if I green in them some from the green friend blue. Me sure some friend blue. But what here? Let's move on.
I don't think so. We have the friend the color coded. I mean, more normal friend is saying. For normal friend is saying.
Green book.
Okay. Okay, what
But only a nekasa now only be from nekasa.
Me no nekasa.
Okay. Enti no monja muntintim mu dia so book mu na ye fan compare. Your friend is saying one issue abeda wo sesi IMF issue sanka as a third world country they will call IMF unless your situation is like Sri Lanka no you should be having results after utum say results no so aye diama our president is begging the Europeans to come in begging the Chinese now I mean why do you think it has become so difficult?
I don't think it has been the domestic
oh, me pacho, me use direct line. I don't know, so we use Bluetooth and Abibia. Etwicha. Hello. Oh, okay. So the line dropped. I didn't even know it. Okay, let's see if yeah. Come what?
Yes, sir.
Who use Bluetooth and what take care of? Hello. Mr. Kwame Boati.
Yeah, Pastor, my 1 minute.
Okay. My name is Kwame Boati na Chichen Common. We organize my MPP wo UK ha. Just one of their senior personnel and our persons are more MPP. He knows what he's talking about. And so please bear with telephone conversation. No, we're promising that that's what me nice cozy studio ha. And so I don't know when. Enti se minya ne telephone so anaja na mafane sa. And ran so minya antibia a friend Portia Asantewa. Ono so be kan dia kama. And previously so minya maybe a friend no a friend Zarwatu Musa. Ono so be kan dia. And previously misanya Ellen Deku. Enti na se MPP for kuku dam no omo ba Mansa Musa hopa, which is very good. Mr. Boat, why ready?
What you say?
Why ready?
Man coming.
And you know now can't a friend saying IMF negotiation say tari. It's a fact to say Akufo-Addo is asking the Europeans to help. It's a fact to say Akufo-Addo wants the Chinese to help. Now, listen, even up to the stage, German ambassador, German for the Enka, previously non common in years, and among farmers and not to Tunkrofano. German ambassador Cracker said, look, till government is too big. Serious, I mean, surely we have a problem on our hands. Now, Abayano doesn't seem to know what he's doing, does he?
How can you say that? I buy or no IMF no more cancer who knew what he's doing. I mean, I think that you are
hey, Kasaye
now we are buying way IMF how can you say that or no does not know what he's doing? I mean, I think that you should give the government some credit for the good work that they are doing. I mean, this is the same government that took us from the IMF that your government did place us under. And you know, I think you should give the MPP government some bit of credit.
So that is your response to the fact that we are finding it very difficult to get agreement going.
I don't think so. I mean, with every agreement, there are some challenges, and yes, I mean the challenges are real. I don't think that there is the notion that you are building is correct. So please stop trying to say the opposite. Yes, there are some challenges. We've just about finished the negotiation with the domestic debt bondholders, which has gone very well. So yeah, the next step is to go on to the international debtors, and I think the government is on course and they're doing fantastically well, making sure that the economy will be put on the right footing, better than the John Mahama led IMF program. I mean, NDC has never been an alternative at the worst of the NPC. You know, I think we should be encouraged for what the government is doing and it's actually placing Ghana and its economy. I think this is a conversation that has been had on many occasions, and what I'm glad and what I'm actually happy hearing and seeing is how well the government is communicating with the good people of Ghana in terms of progress of this IMF negotiation.
I see. So now, on the question of this new CI from the EC, maybe we need the Ghana card to be able to register to vote. But why discard other criteria, i.e., guarantor system or passport? What is your position on this?
You see, I think that we are moving with time, and as time moves, if you remember, your government, your people at the time, the NDC at the time, were the one that brought the Musa ballot boxes. When the ballot box was just a complete opaque box that was sitting there, you're stuffing with ballot papers already. Now over voting, it's all over the place. So we've moved with times. We went to your friend is saying photo ID. We went to biometric ID, and if I want to see say the Ghana card is a secure card for us, and is being built as such, and we should and it will be used as one of the or the sole purpose for identifying Ghanaians. Then I think that it's a good thing. Mainland Europe do have this ID card system. Even not even mainland Europe, but even you go to Togo, you go to Burkina, you go to Ivory Coast, they all have ID card systems. So if we have a sole ID card system to identify us as Ghanaians, and for such we are going to use it as your friend is saying, a form of ID in registering into the to be on a register, a voter register. I think that's a commendable thing. And remember, this Ghana card thing or the National Identification Authority has been set up many years ago. You know, successive government have neglected it until the government led by Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who felt it's about time that we empower the NIA to do the right thing. So, I mean, to execute its mandate. I think we should all be encouraged to see NIA has come to life and doing wonders for all of us. And, you know,
I don't know if you have listened to all the arguments. You see, when you take the opposition,
I think that the many arguments that are made, you know, is lack of understanding of what.
When you take the opposition aside, that you blame all for NDC for the you know, take them aside. Many of the commentators are saying that look, we have a previous with our systems, and we know that the likelihood that many hundreds or many tens of thousands people might not be, you know, obtain those cards when the time comes. So there should be, you know, something that is also trusted and is valid, like a passport, and the guarantor system should be maintained until such a time that we are sure that, oh, this time, you know, those who will be disenfranchised will not be deliberate. Maybe they themselves don't want to vote. So if those people who are suggesting this, do you have to discard them as though they don't know what they are talking about?
I don't think that is the case. What you have to remember is, I mean, the election or even a cutoff period for voter register is October 2024. Right? If the cutoff period is October 2024, we are in the month of March 2023. You know, that is almost shy of 2 years to the cutoff period. And you know, give NIA the necessary support, the necessary resources to be able to register the multitude. I think the NIA can do it. I mean, I believe the majority of people, I think the last count, they have something just shy of about 5 million or so Ghanaians to register. I don't think that is far-fetched. You see,
you don't see anything wrong with the fact that the government is struggling to account for its finances, or the government doesn't have money, and all of a sudden Ken Ofori-Atta sat in the parliament all day to come and allow that.
Have you heard anyone complaining about their salaries not being paid?
Have I heard what?
Have you heard anyone complaining of his salary?
The last time I heard this, your NABCO people, 9 months arrears. These are some mega stipend giving them. It has not been paid.
Are you serious? NABCO being paid. Who can survive not being paid 9 months?
No, they've been laid off already. Now they are no more there, but they are arrears.
If they are no more there, how do you pay for something?
I'm talking about arrears. Arrears.
I think when you go deep into it,
you see. No, if you don't have knowledge about that, it's not a big deal.
It's not about having knowledge. That's what I'm telling you. If you go deep into it, you're a journalist.
I'm saying if you don't have knowledge, it's not a shame. Look, sometimes I don't have knowledge over certain things. It doesn't make me stupid. Look, I'm telling you that NABCO have not been paid.
And Mahama, he was not able. He was not able to pay anybody. I think that the only person.
Do you know the people called the glorified? Listen. Do you know the glorified kitchen potters?
Children were learning under street light.
Do you know the people called the? Do you know the kitchen porters?
They are not being paid.
Do you know the glorified kitchen porters, i.e., or also known as feeding school feeding mistresses? Going about that they have not been paid.
I'm very appalled that you will call your friend and say our hardworking men and women glorified porters. Very, very shameful.
What is it?
That you will call them as such. You are not far from your friend and saying your paymaster John Mahama and still don't get here, doing their bidding and then degrading people's hard-earned reputation and their good jobs.
Hello.
Hello.
7950. Hello. Oh, sorry, we'll be friend. And I'm asking about 7950. Anna. Hello.
No worry, nobody is calling. So
no, there's a call here, but unfortunately, the fellow isn't either listening to me or no. I don't want anyone to say the call.
I think that the fellow have realized that.
Onia Sembia. Hello.
You are fabricating, and I think that's why they want to put you right.
Maybe, but I say Okasa anyway. Hello. Okay. Nipa Chronicle and so what I'm saying is say Akufo-Addo start here, and we said straight some time ago that this policy of consumption expenditure, then you come and do the populist thing by sharing to nurses this and that, paying left, right, and center. Auditor General's etumi report say 25 billion yajiji a esi de koto bank eni bank ho emfa obia ho ye mu o mai sa o wo ni say
So now you've gone run and come to Auditor General your finance report. Is it your finance an audited account?
There be sika what someone here can say sika how you manage the economy and then here can the people the people in charge they come out to say oh chale sika 23 db senka koto ye National Bank any ho sika bi say covid sika bi any ho we obi atua ne ho ka covid time any senka otua ne ho ka obi enka ho asem sa ne ebu man I didn't wait say Mahama ni NDC for ya who ebe o de
na say Mahama no any NDC they are full of corrupt deeds. Their whole thinking about Ghana is corruption. You know, and they been a opening amongst other people. Gina Quarter, oh, yeah.
6 years. 6 years. I ain't to mean the answer. The gentleman who called, you are asking me, can I call now? The answer is yes. You called, I put you through, and you drop it. Now you are asking me if you can call. Anyway. Thank you, Nee from Forest Gate and Kwesi. You brought the listen quickly that I was looking for Kwabena Japan. Now me refi kakra. And you people have told me. Kate Yosin, I say please remove the guest. He is talking cheap. Kate Yosin PPP ni. I say Mr. Kwabena Boateng is talking cheap.
I said, I mean, sitting on your phone and texting messages is easy. It's easier said than done. I mean, if you don't have, you have a good and a lazy evening, you can sit there and then write. Waiting at church will be their money and normal, if anything.
And the normal.
Normal. I mean,
okay.
And yet, if anything, and yet the other turning TV, the any color bullet.
Okay. I see. Okay. Hello, 7950. Good evening.
Yeah, Mansa.
Yes.
Now.
Hello.
Who pick him? Yeah, because you also pick him and I'll put you through. He didn't pick me. He didn't put me through. That's why I dropped it.
Kwesi, I picked you. I asked everybody. I was saying hello. Just like I said now. I said I picked you. You called. The moment I picked, maybe you dropped it without waiting. Anyway, welcome. Let's go.
Thank you. Mansa Musa, I think you were having a conversation with brother from the other side. The name is Mr. Boateng, is it?
Waku Boateng, yeah. Papa ne kana asema o kana wotie.
Your friend Kwame Boateng. I say all kind of maintain back.
Okay. Kwesi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead again and greet Mr. Kweku Boateng.
I can't also hear him. I can't hear him.
I don't know how many times I need to correct you on this, Mansa Musa. Me dealing with Kwame Boateng.
Kwesi, can you hear Mr. Kwame Boateng?
No, I can't hear him unless he speaks again. Try again. I can't hear him.
Mr. Ora, raise your voice a little. I think that Mansa Musa is probably having technical issues.
Anyway, let me go on because I've got some kind of limited time. I've got limited time. You see, Mansa Musa, this issue of ex gratia. Now, this ex gratia, some time back, was for all civil servants, civil and public servants. Then, along the line, some were cancelled. But this Article 71 people who are also civil servants and public servants, their ones were not cancelled. And so there is some kind of disparity in the system. This man is saying, when I take over again as president of Ghana, and then under the Article 71 too, you have categories, like those within the executive, the judiciary, and the other groups. He said, I will take care of that of the executive, because I will be if I'm the president, I will be heading the executive. So doing that one will be easier. And then we will try to stick to the other side to also help us do it. If you know, when he mentioned this, the MPP went to pull something, some publication from 2015. And what he's saying is exactly what he said during 2015. But what happened was that these are laws and they need to be changed before the actual listing can take effect. And so if you remember, they were working on the constitution review, which it got to a point somebody took the matter to court. So it delayed the implementation of the review of the what do you call the constitution. So Nana Akufo-Addo took over. This whole thing was handed over to you. Now the court case is over. So what is stopping Nana Akufo-Addo from implementing, going ahead to implement the review of the constitution, which includes the review of the ex-gratia thing that John Mahama was talking about? Now you did not do it. This man is saying, when I come the second time, I will do it. What is your problem? What is your problem? In any case, what is the position of the MPP on this issue? Are they for the scrapping of the ex-gratia, which every Ghanaian, most Ghanaians, I won't say every Ghanaian anyway, most Ghanaians are against? Because they see it as an unfair kind of situation. What is the position of the MPP on it? Are they for the scrapping of it, or they want to maintain it? If Mr. Boateng can answer this for every Ghanaian to hear, are they for it, or they want it to be taken off the table? Especially when we are in a situation, an austere situation. You see, sometimes MPP, sometimes when they talk, you see that I don't know whether it's some deluded arrogance or disrespect that they have for Ghanaians. And John Mahama just explained, made an analogy about the whole thing. That, you know, the MPP and their surrogates are all over the place. Then you should refund what you took. You should refund, forgetting that this is embedded in law. And so when you change the law, or you cannot do anything about it unless you change the law. And when you change the law, it doesn't take retroactive effect. So why are they asking him? So he made an example that we used to pay school fees. They said we used to pay school fees in those days. Now that they've introduced free SHS within that category, are they going to ask everybody who passed through that the SHS system previously, before they introduced the free SHS, to go and collect their school fees? And my one is also this. Mansa Musa, countries, we had a capital punishment for people who commit, let's say, murder. And for some time, it has come to be realized that keeping that capital punishment then is not good, because it has happened that many people have been put to death and then later found out that they were actually not the ones who committed the offense. And so we say we will change the law to make it, let's say, life imprisonment. So somebody will come and say, okay, then go and bring back those who put to death. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? And so sometimes when you have some debate or this thing with the MPP and the kind of this thing, the argument they forward, sometimes it's like, don't these people respect Ghanaians or it's just sheer arrogance? Now, you talked about NDC having printed a book to tell their story in terms of development and whatever. So the MPP can also print something. Mansa Musa, if you recall, MPP, the thing is that MPP cannot do it. Yes. Because everything they do, everything they do
for the studio, so
it's shrouded.
You want to call it?
It's what you call governance of sloganeering.
Yes,
everything is about slogans, and they keep lying to the people. You remember they printed something, and then the cover of the whatever, I've forgotten, but they want to pick the picture of some project, some edifice. Is it in Kenya or something? And so when they were busted, they quickly pulled down those things. If you again remember, they came up with something. They said they've got they did their one online, and they had a link. So all that, the things that they uploaded on that platform, people checked, went to the ground to go and then verify, and those things were not there. I've forgotten the name they gave it, but I'm sure later on I will get you the name. So they quickly had to pull that one down, because everything they do is about sloganeering, it's about lies, it's about deception. So they cannot print any manual, any book to tell us, like NDC has done, that the Green Book, they cannot do it because they don't have it. Everything they do is about lies, deception, and propaganda. That's what they do. Hello?
Thank you very much.
Oh, let me deal with the IMF and then the CIA, and then I'll finish quickly. Yeah, the IMF. Mansa, again, the MPP, I heard my brother saying this IMF engagement, Ghana's engagement with the IMF is the best so far. Did he say something of that nature? These people don't respect Ghanaians. They don't. Mansa Musa, Ghana, since independence, has been to the IMF, I think, 17 or 18 times. And none of these, none of them, that the situation was so bad that we had to go for debt exchange program. That is the haircut. None of them. None of them except this particular one. And you come and tell me that this is the best. Mansa Musa, you know, when you are going to the IMF, you go there with your own program and the conditionalities you believe you can work within. When John Mahama went to the IMF, we went with our own program. You remember we called it homegrown program. We went there, they saw it, what do you call that? The board saw it, immediately approved of it. And in that program, we had something we call net free unemployment. And the MPP came out making all kinds of noise that we stop employing Ghanaians. And that was lie. That was complete lies. Because what happened was that the government said Yes, we have a government employs people, but in certain areas like the health, education, security, those places, we cannot stop employing people. Because you can't stop employing doctors, you can't stop employing nurses, you can't stop employing police. Neither can you stop employing teachers to teach your kids in your schools. So those ones were ring-fenced. The IMF agreed to it. Then you come to other places, like when you go to district assemblies and these places. Those ones, that is where we put a freeze on it. But even that, we said, let's say somebody is in a position, in a particular position in a district assembly, and the person, let's say something happens, he passes away, or he goes on retirement, or the person also even resigns, you need to fill that particular position. So when they went to town lying to people, they lied to Ghanaians that when NDC went to the IMF, we stopped employing Ghanaians. And you see, it is one of the reasons why they were finding it difficult. When the issue, the situation railed its head, that they should have gone to the IMF earlier, one of those issues that prevented them from going, they were feeling ashamed. Was one reason, that is one of the reasons. Because they made it clear to Ghanaians that NDC, as a result of messing up the economy and therefore going to the IMF for a bailout, had resulted in the government not being able to employ Ghanaians, which was a lie. And now they are faced with a similar situation. In fact, a worse situation. And they have the nerve to tell us that this is the best. These people don't have respect for Ghanaians. They don't whatsoever. Musa, do you know that they are even hitting the snag? They can't even go forward with their own plans. Because they've lied so much. They've hidden so many things that they are scared to open the books properly for scrutiny by the IMF and the World Bank.
Okay.
You lied so much. Now, the CI. The strong-headed posture of the NPP. Now, it's as if they are the spokespersons for the Electoral Commission. And it looks like the Electoral Commission is now an extension of the NPP. Musa, what is the problem at all? It's simple. You say you want to use the Ghana card, or is it ECOWAS card? Because the one I have, I can see only ECOWAS on it.
Hello, Mr. Boate.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to comment or respond to Kwesi?
I think I did miss Kwesi's comment, and I wouldn't. It wouldn't be fair for me to say something out.
You mean you didn't hear him?
I didn't hear Kwesi.
Okay, fair enough. Kwesi, let's talk about. Finish with the CI. Then I have to go to USA.
Okay. Let me do it quickly then. Musa, you remember it is this same similar game they played some 4 years ago. Was it 4 years or some years ago? A few years ago. The same game the Mansa and the MPP connived and played. And the whole thing ended up in the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, that was the day I lost all respect for the judiciary, Ghanaian judiciary. That the judiciary could sit and pronounce judgment that our birth certificate, we can't use it to prove our Ghanaianness. All because it will serve the interests of the Kufuor and the NPP. And so the Electoral Commission, the Supreme Court gave such a horrible, disgraceful ruling. So they put the birth certificate aside. And they said, now they were relying on passports and the guarantor system. We've gone full circle. This same Mansa showed us that when they use the passport, it will make our register the cleanest in the world. We've gone full cycle. You see now, they've come back, they are taking out the what do you call the passport and the guarantor system. Meanwhile, the Ghana card, the so-called Ghana card that you are going to rely on, could be procured using passports and the guarantor system. So what is the sense in what they are doing? Is it because they are just interested in wasting money? Musa, the real motive of this thing is to use it to suppress the voter register, suppress people from going, stopping people from going onto the register in certain areas that they believe will serve their interest. That's all that they are doing. That is all that they are doing. And let me say this. This issue is not about the NDC or is not about the NPP. This issue is about Ghana, because it is very clear that the Kufuor and his gang, having looted the country, are scared of going out of power. For Ghanaians to know the true state of our country, how they've stolen our money. They don't want people to know. And the extent can only be known when these people are out of the way. And the way they've messed up things and Ghanaians are suffering, they know if they don't take care, they are going to go out of power. So what should they do? Find a means of rigging the elections, stealing the mandate of the people. And that is what Mansa has started, this nonsense that Mansa has started doing. That is it. Because it doesn't make any sense. You tell me you accept a Ghana card, which I procure using my passport or a guarantor system. But now you don't want the passport, you don't accept the passport to be used to procure the voter register. Neither do you want to use the guarantor system to procure the voter register. What? What is it? And the last and final thing is that, again, they said the registration, they will do it only at the district centers. Master Musa, this thing has been said over and over and over and over again. One, people live in places that are very, very far from the district offices. And our constitution makes it mandatory that the electoral commission should make it easier for people to get onto the register to vote. Ghanaians who are 18 years above and they are of sound mind. The constitution makes it mandatory for the electoral commission to make it easier for them to get onto the register for the purposes of voting in our national elections. And the Mansa, and knowing the situation in the country, Master Musa, it is difficult. People finding it very difficult to even see their family twice a day. And somebody lives maybe 70 kilometers, 80 kilometers away from the district center. Where is the person going to get the money to go, shuttle him or herself to go and get registered? Whereas the system has always been that you let the people go and register at the polling stations that on election day they will go where they will go to vote. And Master Musa, another thing, even if the person is able to find money to transport him or herself to the district center to go and register. On the day of election, there will be confusion as to where the person's polling station is for him or her to go and and vote. So all these things are designed.
For that argument, I don't understand. No. You mean if somebody goes to the district center to register, his or her voting, what do we call it, center change?
Let me make it easier. Let's say you live in Stratford, and the district office, let's say, is in Oxford Street. So you first, but so when you live in Stratford, you have your polling station in Stratford, that area.
Yes.
And so when you go and register, you find yourself, you are able to transport yourself to go and get registered. You are not registering at your where you are supposed to vote on the day of voting. And so these people say they will process everything and let you know. And so when they process and you don't get to know on the day of election, how are you going to find your polling station to go and
but my confusion here is, if your district, as you say, is in, let's say, Oxford Circus or Trafalgar Square, whatever it is, and my voting, what do you call it, polling station, the polling station is in Stratford. How will the polling station change if I'm going to register for the card in Oxford? That's where I don't understand.
Let me make it so simple. When you are in Stratford, normally Stratford, you have one polling station.
Yes.
Sometimes even one cluster of schools.
Yes.
A cluster of schools, you have so many polling stations there.
Yes.
Okay. So when you the normal situation has always been that you go to that particular.
Yes. Yeah, but you see, for me, there are some arguments which make sense, but this particular I don't understand. I want to understand. Look, if you are going to register for the Ghana card, I would think they will ask your address and everything, and still ask you to tell them your polling station. So you say Stratford College, number so and so, and it to be noted. Or not, or that's not how they do it.
You said it. Hold on. You said it. When when you go to our what do you call remote areas, it's not everybody who is educated to know these things. But once they walk to a particular place to register,
yes, they
know that this is my voting center where I vote.
Yes, but you see, you see, look. I don't want us to create and go on about a problem that can be solved. What I'm saying is, for instance, for me, I think it still have to be registered locally where you live. But then, if you can, let me explain. If you can have money to go to the registry center. Sorry, Kwesi, if you have money to go to the registration center, which is far away from your village, I mean, what is the big deal asking my voting center, is it still the same LA primary school in my village at Achiasi? The answer is yes. That's it.
Master Musa, yes. I'm just telling you something which is practical happening now.
Yes.
Now, I don't pray that this thing goes through, but if it goes through, mark this thing I'm telling you today. On the day of the election, you see the confusion. Because as you speak,
it's
even the Ghana card. Hold on.
The fact that Kwesi, I let you pass. Look, you've spoken almost 20 minutes without this intervention at all. Well, hang on, let's discuss this. You are going to look. For me, I don't want a problem that is created and we make sure that problem exists. I'm just trying to explore whether they can be, so that nobody is coming to dig a hole in that argument. What I'm saying is, if you are from a village, you are not even educated. And for me, I would have thought that when they collect all your documents and everything, the next thing is that, they tell you, they send the car to your own area to go and collect it. But then, even if you have to carry yourself and go to that far away to go and collect it, if you have a village, a remote center, where you have only maybe 1 or 2 polling centers where you vote, it doesn't change. So going to collect your card from far away, and for the voting center, how will it change? How should that become another confusion? I don't understand it.
Master Musa,
yes.
I will not argue with you. I'm just telling you what is on the ground, what is happening on the ground. I will not argue with you, and I'm saying I don't pray for this CI to go through. But if ever it should go through, this thing I'm telling you today, mark it, it will happen. Because this Ghana card, even the Ghana card, some of them that some remote areas that they went to capture their data, and they said there's no service, internet service there. And then they said they will send it to back to them to be distributed. Those that they didn't send to be distributed, and they found it prudent to go and collect it themselves. When they went, some of them, their ones have been sent to different locations completely. So can you imagine
they have sent what to different locations?
Somebody came registering.
Yes.
You took their data. You said there's no service. So you took their data, went back to your offices in Accra to go and process. You took their addresses, so you took their location, the addresses of their location. So we want to send it back to their district for distribution. They waited, it wasn't coming. They made the move to go and check. And they had to go through so many things. And then some of them found their card having been sent to another region. They've gone to another district in another region. So can you imagine if that thing should have happened on an election day?
I'm getting more confused. You see, this CI, I think many people have problems with it, genuine problems. And some people have come to the realization that, okay, even if it will come on, even the NDC people are saying it, that the guarantor system should be maintained. But apart from that, are we saying that if you go and collect your NIA card, Ghana card, now with that you are going to register in the electoral register? That electoral register is what they will discuss with you where your voting center is. It's not it, or what? I don't understand.
Master Musa, that is what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's so simple. It is very, very simple. Even in those old systems, where you even go to your actual polling station to register. Sometimes it comes on election day. I'm surprised that you haven't seen this kind of things going on.
Wait.
On election.
When it comes to all this haphazardness, I mean, all these mistakes and the worries and the problems people are going through, you go here, you can't find your name. For that one is there. But this particular explanation you are giving that if you go, the explanation you are giving me that if, for instance, you live in Newham and your district is in Ilford, because you go to Ilford to go and collect your card, it means you are confused where you are going to vote. I mean, that is where I'm a bit.
That is not what I'm saying.
Okay.
That is not what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is so simple. That people know exactly their polling station.
Yes.
That is the old system. So they were registering people at their own polling station. So on election day, you just pick up your card, your voting card. You walk to that polling station where you registered. Now, they are not saying that, they are not even saying that they are going to do it within that your let's say your village. They are asking you to go somewhere far away from your village.
But it will be your no. As for the logistics of traveling, this I understand. But for
I'm not talking. I've gone past the logistics.
Yes.
I'm talking about the confusion that is going to be created.
For me,
on a
this one we have to make sure. You see, one of the arguments for not accepting CI, this CI, I don't think this one should be included because just that people are so stupid. So if they don't take their card from their hometown, they'll be confused. I don't get it.
What we are doing? Yes, you wouldn't get it.
No, because you don't get it. Because it's not different. It's different from saying I won't accept it too. I don't understand the problem there.
You don't understand it. I said fine. You don't understand it. But I'm saying I don't pray for this thing to happen. But if ever it happens on the election day, you understand what I'm talking about. You mark today's date. Mark it down. Today's date. Put it down. Today is the 4th of March, 2023. And the time now is exactly 15 minutes past 9 in the evening. Mark it. You mark what I'm talking about. Mark it down.
You see, Kwesi, it can happen, but that is not due to the fact that, they couldn't collect. It is just a matter of misinformation. Because what I'm saying is, if you travel from Kumasi to come and collect your card in Accra, and you are going to use that card to register to vote, surely, just because you came to Accra doesn't mean your Kumasi voting center is in a confused state. I don't get it. I mean, that is the only part. You see, we are all very much concerned. The money, in fact, Richmond is gone, but the money aspect, then the civil rights implication, nobody is talking about all this data being gathered and where they are going to be kept and everything. No one is even discussing. We are all concerned about that. But some particular points that, this is going to cause a problem. This is the only one I don't see it that way. But it doesn't mean you are wrong. That's all. Anyway.
No, so it's okay. Yeah, yes. It's okay. I won't argue further. I'm just telling you, this is what some experts are talking about, and I see sense in it. Yes.
Yeah. Tell those experts they should come up with more tangible reason to refuse it, because for this one, it makes people look too foolish. And if there's proper information that, look, irrespective of where you register or wherever you have gone to register, the registering officer should let you know your they don't have postcode, but your village where you're coming from, where you voted the previous time, that's exactly where you're going to vote. That's it. As for that problem, it will be solved. That doesn't mean we don't.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Musa.
That's how it should be. Otherwise,
no. You see, I understand where you are coming from. You are making it look so simple, but when you go to the ground, it won't look that simple. Yes, on the ground, it won't look that simple. That is why we are cautioning them. You remember, we cautioned them when Oslo-Wusu was being macho about this thing. Remember, I was with someone on that day when they took this thing off. The person was, the person was holding his
Oslo-Wusu thing is about the deadline. That was
about the deadline. This one has also got a deadline is not specifically stated in it. But when you look at the whole thing, it borders on deadline. Because Kenneth Atifua has said, I don't have A, B, C, and D. So
all right.
I cannot
Let me go
this.
to America. I think you've taken almost 45 minutes, which is good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't taken 45. I've taken 37 minutes.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
Ken.
Yes. Mansa Musa, can you hear me?
Good evening, and from London. I know it's about good afternoon in the US.
That's right. Can you hear me now?
Everyone can hear you.
Okay, great. Yes, it's around 4:18 in the Big Apple. Okay, and Mansa Musa, something aroused my interest, and I decided to call him. You were on the line with a gentleman, I think, is it Boatin?
Yes.
You were having a discussion with him, and he passed a comment regarding students learning under street lights. And then Kwesi also made a profound statement, which I concur with, regarding the district registration. And I would like to start with that of Kwesi first. Mansa Musa, I know you were not trying to understand the issue Kwesi was raising, but you see, gerrymandering and voter suppression are a real thing that happens.
Sure.
Over here in the Western world, they use redistricting and other stuff to achieve that goal. Now, when it comes to Ghana, it is your residential address that pretty much determines your polling station, where you register to vote. And the point is that most of the time when EC is doing registration, they go to polling stations where people who live in a particular community go to that polling station and then offer themselves for registration. And so when it comes to election, they know that is the exact polling station where they are going to cast their ballot. Now EC is saying we are using the district offices to do the map up registration. So those who have not been registered on the register that we have, voter register, and those who turn 18, these are all people who are new to go on the register. So assuming hypothetically, EC gets their way, right, to use the districts to do this registration. Mansa Musa, the following thing will happen. First of all, not everybody will be able to access the district depending on how far they live from the district offices. Number two, there is a mistrust amongst the parties, the NDC, MPP, and the EC. Nobody trusts what the EC is doing, especially coming from the NDC end. Now you're saying to me, you're going to do continuous registration whereby you have the absolute authority to register people and then determine their polling stations. So what do you think will happen if there are constituencies where there is a small margin of vote between, the last election between, MPs that contested, and let's say the MPP decide to bust people to register and be put to a certain polling station? This is a clear case of, gerrymandering. When that happened, now the EC has determined their polling station, right? Those people have been registered without the knowledge of their parties. So when that happened, an election that was determined by maybe a couple of votes, now it will be...
that is why I'm a bit worried. You mean the EC determines a voting center without the knowledge of the parties?
The point I'm trying to raise is that when people come to register with the mainstream continuous registration, without the party representatives at the district offices to supervise.
Obviously, that is a different argument. I get it. I get what you mean. For that, right. It's a different argument. Yeah.
Right. So at that point, because there is a mistrust that people don't trust whatever the EC is doing, it means each of the parties will have to station their representative permanently at those district offices. Now, think of logistics. One, is there a space for those people to be permanently be working with the ECs at those offices? Number two, those parties in opposition who are not in government, where are they going to get the money to fund those people? We have 216 local districts. So if you take every party, have 2 people, just between NDC, MPP alone, you're talking about, over 800 people. Indeed, one could just say that, well, the party in government may find a way to fund their people. What about the party in opposition? How are they going to fund those people?
Yes.
And then you don't have control over whatever is being done. So when people have been registered, let's say you live in Latebi or Koshin, right? You register over there. Now they put you somewhere at Odoko. The day of registration, you are not aware. You went to Latebi or Koshin to vote. They say you don't vote here. You are in the register of Odoko. You've been disenfranchised. At that point, you are not able to vote.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Anyway, it's all a bit like you said, gerrymandering, shenanigans, and making it difficult for
Musa,
but what shows that or what will prevent the other members of society to make sure that everybody is captured and involved?
Everybody is captured and involved. That is why you see the fears, and people are not saying this, the fears of the MPP is that now in the stronghold of NDC, it is possible people at the border towns will be able to register and become Ghanaians and vote. But the point that they are not addressing is that Ghana is a country that respect the dual nationality. Okay, we have people in the UK, people in America, people in many parts of the world who are holding dual nationality. When there is election time, people on the UK electoral roll, people on the US electoral roll go to Ghana and also vote.
Yes.
Why don't we complain about that? But yet we are concerned about Togolese Ghanaians who happen to be at the border town. Somebody was born in Ghana, he lives at Aflao, he happened to have descendants in Togo. So he's having that dual nationality, and that person, you are saying because of that, he's not a Ghanaian. And you are worried about that, so you don't want the guarantor system to take place. And this is all about, the whole thing going around. Because when they remove the guarantor system, it means you have to practically get the Ghana card. Now, look at what is the issue with the Ghana card. Why is it that most of the Ghana card issued in the stronghold of the NDC have not been given to the people? Okujato came out, was saying about in his own constituency about if the numbers are wrong, please forgive me, but about 65,000 people, about 11,000 have their Ghana card. When that was put to the the NIA boss, he said that they should not count on the the report coming from the district. They should rely on the national report, NIA national report. So my question is, why do you have a district report that is different from the national report? Then they also contended that they requested the NIA boss to give them breakdown of the 17 million people registered. Up to date, they haven't received that. Even recently, that comment was passed on again by the Honorable Kujato, saying that they want the breakdown of the people registered. Why is that not coming out? So that a proper audit could be done to see why people in certain areas are having their Ghana card and others are not having. The other point too is that look at the plight in which Ghana we find ourselves in. This is not the time for us to spend so much money for a Ghana card when we don't have vaccines for our newborn babies. And now we have the finance minister who a couple of weeks ago was so broke that he wanted to take pensioners' money. Today he's guaranteeing that he can pay for the NIA to have money to issue Ghana card. Do you see the issue with this? Okay, and then what is so disturbing is that now you saying that you have given money. You told people in Parliament that you've given 100 million cedis. Meanwhile, unbeknown to people, NIA actually owe the banks over 1 billion cedis. So if you owe somebody over 1 billion plus cedis and you have given 100 million, have you solved the problem? And is that what we all want to hang our hats on? That is wrong. You cannot do that. And if we are talking about an election which should be fair across the board for every eligible voter to be registered and vote, why are we doing everything possible to make it difficult for those people to vote, to register to vote? And when we don't have money, you see, now let me address the issue of children reading on the street. You see, the truth that NPP people do not want to say, and is so, disturbing, is that they've forgotten that during our former president Kufuor time, he brought in what is called single spine, where salaries were somehow even out across board. And then it was our former president with blessed memory, Atta Mills, who implemented that policy and was paying. It was a difficult time for that government. JDM inherited that, and he continued paying. Nobody heard that, pensioners' money were taken over. Nobody heard that Ghana became broke. Nobody heard that anything like that happened. Yet we also have energy crisis. And JDM took the pledge to address it head on. The guy was able to solve the problem. Now you come to finance the fueling of those equipment. You claim that you have done better. So Mansa Musa, let me ask you, if I made savings and I bought a car for my family, unfortunately after buying the car, I was not having sufficient money to fuel the car. So you, the guy who come to buy fuel into the car, you mean you've done better than me who bought the car? Is that an analogy NPP people are making? That a guy who brought in all those, power equipment, energy equipment, that was able to put Ghana on a positive, a developmental step whereby energy became stable, that government did not do well. But you, the ones who come to just finance the fueling, you've forgotten that Atuabo was built based on somebody's knowledge. I mean, how can you talk that kids were under the street when you know that under your former president Kufuor, he took pastors to go to Akosombo to pray for God to give us water, rain, so that Akosombo can be running. And somebody solve it. Is that the gratitude you show to that person? Have we all forgotten that the Millennium Challenge account, when the Americans promised to give us money so that we can restructure our energy sector, when a previous government were able to go in for the funds that has been promised, it was under this current government that made Ghana lose over $190 million. Have we forgotten the Americans decided not to give us that money because of PDS? So why are you guys not talking about that? This is money Ghana lost. It's a free money. That just do what has already been done. Continue that. You came and informed PDS that took our money away, and nobody knows where PDS took the money. And yet you guys are talking like this. I mean, it's so sad that we are so broke. And people cannot understand why JDM said it is good that we scratch, we scrap off Article 71. These people are going after JDM, who has made a proposal that when he get a chance, this is something he is going to do. Use a lean government. He's going to use just system ministers, and he's also going to take inventory of our, developmental projects and continue those old ones that have not been completed. Before he will start a new project, he will complete all the old ones. Why can't we guys see the light in this, the wisdom in this, but rather going after the guy? If you say JDM, I heard some of them say, why don't JDM do like Togbe Afede did? he should give up his, Article 71 benefits he's getting. First of all, the guy did not get what he was supposed to be paid. Secondly, if he's collecting, he's now an unemployed person because he's a former president. He deserves to be given that benefit, just like other presidents are being given. But what about the current government? Why are they not implementing that now? There was a white paper on constitution that was taken to court when JDM was in power. So he couldn't implement the amendment of the constitution. It was late December 2016 when the court finished their work and the baton was passed on to this current government. Why have they not implemented the constitution? Why have they not implemented the amendment of the constitution? And yet they know how to attack somebody in opposition. Come on. These people should know that people are wide awake. The lies that they pass around, those days are gone. Okay, Ghanaians are suffering. Ghanaians cannot afford anything, and is that the best that they can do to tell Ghanaians that they are better off managing the economy when we cannot go to the credit market again? Is that what it is? When somebody left you a solid finance, you understand what I'm saying? So this is so outrageous that we hear these people come and preach to us things that they are incapable of doing. Kids are going to school for 6 years. You've not been able to print textbooks. What about that? You changed the education curriculum and you couldn't print textbooks. So what are the kids going to school to learn? PASCO? They learn past questions, and is that how we were brought up? Is that the training that we were given as Ghanaians when we go outside, we all excel? Is that the sort of training? Back in the days with sixth form, you can get scholarship to any of the European universities. Today, can we say the same thing about that? We have destroyed everything, and we keep on destroying, and we keep making loudmouth about it. Is that a sort of thing that we can be proud of? We are broke, yet we want to spend millions of dollars to make a new voter register. Mansa Musa, finally, let me land on this. Do you know when the EC made that statement that the NIA guarantor system is more robust than that of the EC? That was so problematic because EC is now admitting that the voter register they did in the previous year is not a credible register because there are people on the voter roll that were guaranteed for, and they don't trust those people to be Ghanaians because their guarantor system was not pure. So why did you accept that? Why did you implement that and allow us to spend so much money to do a voter register which you are saying is not credible? I mean, seriously? After spending all that money, now we are not even, putting our minds to the BVRs and BVDs. The time will come, they'll say they are all broke. The batteries are all not working because they need new ones. Wait until that comes. We can never do anything right in Ghana. Are we serious as a people that we only have to waste money and then come and dance a bit about the bush and claim that whatever. Come on, we should sit up. We were told that, sugar factory did not have sugar canes. So they are going to plant sugar canes and all that. What has happened to date? The sugar canes are not being planted. How long does it take to plant sugar cane? Why is the factory left to nature to be rusting away when we have spent so much money to do this? So people should not come and pour sand into our eyes and say children were sitting under street lights learning. What kind of comment are you passing? This is what really got my attention. I was really peacefully listening to your program, enjoying it, until I heard that comment that children were sitting under street light learning. Today, where are children sitting? Are children not lying on their bare bellies at some of the schools? Don't have tables, chairs, with structures falling apart? Are we not aware of that? Are we not aware of that as Ghanaians? Is that not a shame that today, if vaccines, there should be any outbreak of disease, we don't have the emergency vaccine that will protect our newborn babies? Are we not ashamed of that? And this is where we rather want to put our focus and attention to. Is that what we want as a country? We are proud people. Let me tell you, Ghanaians are the most, I tell this to people all the time. We Ghanaians, we are the most patriotic people on earth. And somebody will say, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And let me give you an example, Mansa Musa. Most of us Ghanaians in the diaspora, when we get money, where do we go? Don't we all go to Ghana? Don't we build mansions in Ghana and we don't even sleep in that? Some of us die and we don't sleep in it because we want to rebuild our country. But people who are not patriotic, when they get their money, they spend money. There are many nice places, Caribbean. You go to parts in Asia, exotic places in Australia, Europe. You could go there, but Ghanaians all will pay. Look at how airlines are treating Ghanaians. Yet we suffer and go to Ghana to contribute. So we are the most patriotic people I can ever think of. Yet we don't have the opportunity to contribute immensely the way we should, so that our country can be put on the pedestal to development. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't let these people come and bamboozle us with all their sort of double talks and things that are not happening. Okay? Mansa Musa, I think I'll rest my
All
case
right.
here.
Listen, thank you very much. Tonight, I've given you guys a chance to air your views and clear your chest. Thank you very much, and hopefully it won't be the last. Yeah, have a good day over there in the U.S.
Thank
Abusiafo, sese die ye nam top connect so e mani sika de bagana e free wiase afana nyina ye ntia kapre ane aye free top connect amasika mani aye mrekra ye wohia ne se wo be download with top connect app no e wo play store de ama wo android phone ana se wo use iphone so a ko apple store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa manda radio num so wo Europe, North America and Asia wo mane wo dofo sika fa top connect so a ayentem na emre na mawa hoto so sese die sika manye di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia for top connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect our befontin fidie nyina so top connect Fasika mani wa dofo asumjemu a untia kapre top connect yensu ye dienie
uwana mutanen NDC da ke United Kingdom da Ireland chapter, ina roƙon ku har wa yau ku vote ku ba chairman Akwa. Shi kada ne wanda in Allah ya yarda ya win ya zama chairman zai kawo welfare program da zai taimaka muku ya taimaka ma party mu. Daga cikin wannan welfare program dukkan member da ke neman taimako lokacin da ya shiga cikin masuwa abin da ya kama daga 50 pounds zuwa 400 pounds welfare program na ya tabbatar a baka a taimaka maka in Allah ya maka dalili ka biya wannan kudi. Bayan haka kuma dukkan memba da ke neman wani taimako sha'anin batun takardun shi ko wurin zama ya ajiye manya da lauyoyi da kowane lokaci kake neman advice ko kake neman wani lawyer da zai taimaka maka akan batun sha'anin zaman ka a kasar United Kingdom, shi kuma su bi bayan ka su taimaka maka su saya maka ka biya wani abu kadan da yake in ka je waje zaka doki lawyer ba da ka same shi haka nan ba. Muna rokonka member NDC da ke United Kingdom ko Ireland in lokacin vote ya kai ka vote ka ba Chairman Akwa, shi kare ne wanda yake zai taimaka ma fatin mu a lokacin da muke ciki. Wannan shine sanarwa ko wannan shine abin da muke roko ku taimaka mishi, Allah kuma ya taimaka mu duka gaba daya. Allah ba mu nasara. Mun gode muku da ku saurare mu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
So that's been very, very productive and some sort of easygoing program tonight. I love and respect all those of you who came in to talk to us, discuss stuff, especially Mr. Richmond Kwame Boateng, Richmond Kwame Boateng, whose name I tend to forget all the time. He came, he did his best, and that's it. Anyway, so tomorrow is Sunday. Musa to have a rest. Come Monday, we'll come and do it all over again. I thank you all for participating. Unfortunately, I couldn't get through to Mr. Oliver Vomo. In fact, he did tell me previously that he's in Volta Regionson Village, and that place, honestly speaking, signal is of a premium. Very difficult to get proper signal. So there we are. We will leave it till another day, and I will come and do it all over again. And for now, what I can say is thank you for your participation. Have a great weekend, and may the Almighty God give you whatever you desire, whatever you wish for. Everything you are praying and asking for should come your way nicely. As they say, have a good evening and have a good weekend. Cheers. Bye-bye.